Put my heart and soul in, so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions, daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here we go, set, 10 logo. Look, squeeze. Safety green.
They'll run on first down. Hodge, call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Small. Go. 45. Here we go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go. 18, Gator. Hey, Haywood. Yep.
Check 45 to Mike.
Hey, lock it.
Watch his grab. Watch his
Hard.
check that.
Go.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Brewer. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line.
Now.
45 to Mike. Hey, tight down. There you go. 45 to Mike.
Back to throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Second and long. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Kennedy. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 37. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Second and 14. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Kennedy. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. So there the defense denies the rookie of his potential first career touchdown.
And his first NFL touchdown celebration. I wonder if he's thought about it, if he has something cooked up in his head as he worked out with his team, and think about the celebration back home when he finally scores his first touchdown.
You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. We'll see what he does.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kahale Waring, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. He's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position. And I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league. But the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. This is taken at the 23. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back to throw. King. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. It was Nick Nelson that time who got a hand in to break that one up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
King now to throw on 3rd down. And he fires Here's one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility.
And it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. From 19 yards away, as they are now on the board here in the first half. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Come on,
The Browns drive about to get started. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2nd and 13. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. The 40. 20. 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now back to throw. It's Waring, the tight end, with it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Kennedy. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
45 is the mark.
Hey.
I'm coming after you.
Go out.
Hey,
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
The outlaw and Alpha.
You can't block me. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me.
Back to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Watch the pass. Watch safety green. 81. That's it. 53. 53. Check 53. I'm going to run you.
Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Looking to throw on second down. King. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now King operating from the gun. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Let's go.
To throw is King. Going to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, Any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get into that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. King on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go now. 52, 6 yards. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. 49, check. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, King. He's got his tight end Fant, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down.
Switch. 61. Match box. Right. Check. Showing it.
King now. From the gun, he'll throw. This is the tight end Fant. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Throw left side complete. That's Kennedy. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Go.
45
2nd and 2. short throw going to be caught by Waring, the tight end. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
On third down, it's Brewer, and he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Looking around the league from Raymond James Stadium, they're in the third quarter in Tampa. The Jaguars extending their lead to a couple of touchdowns now. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Second and 12 at the 31-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
6-man. Check curls, check curls.
Here's King on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
The Browns take over first
Good one, boys. Let's go.
at their own
Let's go.
17-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll drop the throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Hey, exit.
They'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Go. Hey, Charlie.
45. Mike, 45. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check.
Ready.
Back to throw now on second and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A big play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now King from the gun on 3rd down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. Looking left side, and it's complete. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
Here we go. Now the wolf. Mike Batu. You ain't going nowhere.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball. Wait. Back. My 52. Night, sweetheart. Off.
To throw is King. Throwing on 1st down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the 1st quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. King throwing on 4th down. He completes it to Bryant. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 6. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Ready up.
The Browns drive about to get started. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball,
and the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
They cannot hold us down. We're going to keep getting sacks.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Check 31, check 31.
Rock it.
They're going to look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now a looking right. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Second and goal from inside the 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice. Usually on a Friday, they go over this type of...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Don't be scared of it.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for Denver, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now